first lower bracket match, which means the loser will be out of RLCS. The winner is going to move on and stay alive a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and get into the match. It's Reunited versus Red Eye with the commentary. It's going to be Leaf and Lawler. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Axel Toss, and I'm down here on the field. I'm Leaf. I'm the caster now with the second coolest accent, and I'm with Lawler, the guy that has to deal with me.
I'm not excited for that.
Good luck.
Yeah, but going back into this, they were talking a lot about Chaussette over on the desk, and he has been a dominating performance for this team. He, over the past couple weeks, has really stepped up and shown that this is a possibility for them. On the other side, you see a team in Reunited that has struggled. Their consistency has been their biggest problem.
Absolutely. Now they find themselves down in a dire situation. I mean, hopefully they're recharged and ready to go into this next match and get things underway. I mean, they've gotten so close. You know, we saw them in the RLCS Season 1, 5 points away, and it all comes down to this again. Once again, in a situation where they are almost in a bad spot. Well, I mean, they are in a bad spot, but they still control their fate this time, and hopefully they can do it, but they have a team that also deserves to be there because they've made it this far.
Both these teams reaching for a win, because if they don't, they are out. Do or die moment. Let's go.
All right, game number 1, Reunited versus Red Eye.
I promise, chat, we're done.
We're not. One of these teams is going home after this. Another one will have a chance still to get that other ticket to land on the EU side of things to get that 8th and final spot for the Amsterdam LAN. Reunited Red Eye, another one getting a goal so far. Getting very close to Reunited putting one in there, but they couldn't quite finish it off. Snasky will be trying to get the first one, a soft underside touch, stopped out by Dedu to the side. Now Chaussette Dedu with a chance to move up here. Chaussette keeping that to himself. Will wrap around the front. Both ELMP and Snasky push that one away. Doomsy a little bit late to that one. Tequila's with enough time to let his teammates get all stationed up for a shot, and they're going to take the first one. Dedu puts it in.
Yeah, this Reunited team just looking stationary, ball coming in, and Red Eye having all the time in the world, just nobody really contesting them. They just poise up, get in position, and then take a shot on net, top right. First goal, like you said, going to Red Eye.
1 minute in, and we only have one goal so far, but one goal is all they need. They want to hold this one and win this game here. Dedu with another shot, trying to extend their lead. Put 2 goals in. They're not giving up yet. They will not sit passively and just hold on to a lead. They want to extend this as far as possible. Reunited trying to answer it, though, with a passing play there. Snasky a little bit too far from the goal to get an accurate shot. Will try to set up a play for her teammates there. Doomsy, can he get the second touch in front of the net? No one there to follow it up. Snasky backing off, opting to wait that one out instead. All boosted up in midfield. He's the only one back with Chaussette and Tequila is moving forward. Dedu with a shot potential. Puts that in the right spot and extends the lead.
Not exactly sure what's going down as they're moving downfield. Snasky doesn't do anything to contest. Kind of smart because the 50-50 is probably not going in his favor, but he needs to have faith that his teammates are going to be back behind him to follow up that 50-50. He needs to get in the face because this transition from defense to offense for Red Eye, nobody in their way, just easily done.
Let's see if Reunited can catch up on this one. 2 unanswered goals go by so far with 3.5 minutes left in this. Lots of time to figure out what to do. Pull themselves ahead. ELMP in the air with a long shot. Doomsy ready for a touch himself. Chaussette will get that by him. Snasky ELMP keeping the pressure on hard here. That ball slowly floating towards the net. Dedu will be able to keep that one out and gets a nice enough touch to send up to Chaussette. He's ready for a redirect there. The Lucinio-style touch doesn't go towards the net, but it still is on offense and in favor of Red Eye at the moment. As they try to formulate some sort of an attack, they will have to back off Doomsy. Snasky moving forward. Lamp as a third in. Can Snasky get a touchdown? Tries to put it on target. Dedu intercepting that shot potential right there, and they're moving forward with a chance on net, but they couldn't get control. Tequila's puts it a little bit out of his reach. And that's going back down towards Red Eye's end.
Reunited doing a very good job of clearing this back downfield. Shot coming across from Snasky going a little bit high. But the way that they're moving it downfield, just a quick touch downfield.
ELMP, though, he's going to put one in. Only 1 goal away.
Working that last man out on defense. Tequila's trying to do something to get in the way. 2 people trying to go for that save. Forces both of them out of the net. And then the placement by ELMP. You saw one sweeping back into position to make a save. But far post making it very difficult and out of reach.
2.5 minutes left. 1 goal down. Comfortable situation. We'll see if they can turn this momentum right around. Lamp taking control of that ball again as he waits for his teammates to get caught up with him to get a plan started up. Tequila's giving the ball to Snasky, but Shazette quickly taking that one back. A little bit too far out of his reach. Doomsy will have time to wrap that one around, but he loses it out to Shazette, who does get a boost grab. That could start a starvation on the Reunited side if they aren't careful here and can't get a good clear, but they do manage to get that ball past the midfield down to the other end. Good pass from Snasky, but follow up a little bit too late from his teammate there. Lamp in an awkward spot. Tequila has a chance to pass to Dedu. They aren't able to connect with that play. Dedu in a really weird spot now will be out of the play. Doomsy not seeing Shazette. Can't manage to break that one out for a counterattack. They will be found still on their own end and still a goal down.
Yeah, you see as soon as that ball gets played out, like you mentioned,
Tequila's
a counterattack.
He's going to read a shot off the wall for a fairly easy shot. No one in net.
Yeah, as soon as that ball got cleared out, like the first part of that was put in by Chaussette. As soon as that happened, he backs off to get boost. But then you have two defenders in Tequila and Dedu who just wait at that midfield and are like, all right, this is going to come straight back to us. He has nowhere else to go off this wall unless he plays it across field. They contest it, they pressure it, and they get a goal.
They have re-extended their lead, and even further so, with 3 goals ahead of Reunited.
Yeah, Dedu just getting over the top in that kickoff, gets the win, plays it off high, and then using that backboard again. So difficult to read off that backboard as it's right above you in a very odd position in the camera. Sometimes you just got to come from the side or just make an attempt. Sometimes throwing a body is better than nothing.
Now 3 goals down with a minute left. Reunited defense kind of falling apart here. Maybe getting a little bit too antsy trying to get the scores evened up again. They find themselves in an even worse situation than they did about a minute ago. We'll see if they can pull this one back. Still possible, but they do need to connect with plays like that. Very close chance for Doomsy there, but that one will have to reset itself. Shot on net. Shazette keeping that one out, but still not in the best spot for the defense of Red Eye. They do manage to push it out a bit, but not outside of the shooting range. And Doomsy getting a little frisky in net there. Will clear a spot for Snasky. What an incredible passing play from Reunited.
Pass play indeed coming off. You see this clear to the corner. Not strong enough. Bounces right back down. ELMP waiting for it. Just flicks it back inside to a waiting Snasky. And he puts a good shot on net. Bottom left post.
Shazette not able to get back in time because Doomsy, once again, is starting some bumps up on the rotation out. 40 seconds left. Only 2 goals now. Took them 20 seconds to get that one. They have just the right amount to pull this one back to a tie if they can get a play started up right now. 30 seconds remaining. They will have to get that ball moving forward. They just seem to be lollygagging a bit in their own net here. And they're giving a lot of opportunities for Red Eye to push that one right back down to the midfield. No breakout chances at all for Reunited, as they finally have potentially a shot there. Lamp a little bit too late to that. And ball in full control right now of Red Eye. And I'm going to safely say this one's going right over to Red Eye for game number 1.
Yeah, credit definitely goes to Red Eye with this clock management at the end. Small, subtle things that really make the difference. As soon as they're moving down, you even see Tequila's. He's taking his time moving up the wall. He's not forcing it back into their possession. There's other things where they're on the other side of the field. Goes for a demo on ELMP as he's rotating in. Not able to clear it out immediately. Goes and denies the boost. So those little things do add up, and it kills the clock eventually. I mean, that's 30 seconds gone. But Chaussette, even though he didn't have the most shots, didn't have really any assists, that glue that holds his team together. 4 saves.
Yeah, 0 shots, 0 assists, but that's what he said. I mean, he is all over the field.
Right.
Just all in all, the structure of their team from the beginning to end, they put plays on, they got goals, and at the end when they didn't have to anymore, they just held off and they made sure that their opponents weren't able to formulate anything. Now I think a lot of this had to do with Reunited playing a little bit more passively than we'd expect them to. They are going to have to turn that play style around because it's not going to work. That game fairly convincingly going into Red Eye's favor. Something's going to have to change for Reunited.
Yeah, they're just playing a little slow. I mean, they need to step up their pace. A lot of it is dictated by Red Eye. Red Eye is basically handling it how they'd like to. They're like, yeah, we'll play it a little bit slow. When we need goals, let's move it upfield quick, put a couple shots on net. And then some big defensive mistakes. These guys just aren't getting in the face of these guys. They're pretty much letting them do whatever they want.
No, absolutely. I mean, there are some smart plays coming in. We saw Doomsy and the team get a goal because of the bump that they had forced on that offensive rotation, but they didn't keep that up. The pace in the rest of their play style was just not there. So hopefully coming into game number 2, Reunited is going to be able to pull this one back and pull a point out in the series for themselves. Otherwise, they're going to let their dreams fall apart.
Like you mentioned, do or die moment. These guys, still plenty of time left, still plenty of games. Just need to make sure that they're not the ones at the end
Oh, quick kickoff goal there. The quick off 3 seconds in, and they're going to put themselves into the lead.
Yeah, exactly like I mentioned. Watch ELP the way he approaches this. Gets in and then gets the most area of the ball moving forward. One came at a diagonal, but Doomsy hit it directly on with the shot, but his teammate in front of him hit it as parallel to the ball as possible, winning out that kickoff. It is a matter of physics.
A well done cheat up to the ball by Doomsy there, puts themselves ahead early on in this game. Great momentum starter there. Coming into game number 2, Reunited versus Red Eye. This is do or die. One of these teams is going home after the end of this series, the best of 5. Red Eye taking the first point in the series as Reunited tries to take one back for themselves here. 1 goal up, 30 seconds still unanswered, but there it is, 1-1 about 20 seconds later.
Quick shot coming down from Dadu. As you see, this clear trying to get out by Doomsy. Doomsy was the last man back. LMP kind of was shaky on it. He should have been the one to contest that, but because he didn't, Doomsy made a gut decision to come and contest that. Issue is he didn't win the 50-50, bounces back, and then Dadu's got a shot. LMP's got to try to recover.
Right back to where we started. Reunited gives up their lead fairly quickly, and Dadu trying to put themselves into the lead now. Bit of an air drag, isn't able to finish that one off to the net. Snasky with a chance over Chazette. Chazette does keep that one away. Doomsy to Dadu, and that flies back to the midfield line. Ping pong as both these teams try to get control. Snasky had an opportunity there. Almost caught both Tequilas and Chazette off guard with a redirect. Didn't connect though. We'll be on offense now for Reunited as they try to get an attack formulated, but with both Snasky and Lamp going on that one, it will be up to Doomsy to keep that play alive. Can he finish it off? No, not quite, as a roof bounce comes down and is stopped out by the Red Eye defense, doing a very good job of making sure there's no more opportunities created after those roof bounces coming out for Red Eye.
Right, very dangerous position to be in front of the net and up high for this other team. But the way that he plays it, nice and soft down to the corner, lets his teammate and only his teammate get it, able to get the boost and then move it upfield. So they're doing a really good job of positioning the ball after those dangerous shots kind of start to form.
Absolutely, Dadu almost with a chance there, but it does end up back down into their own end. As Reunited tries to get a play starting up, but still no real shot opportunities coming out for Reunited at this point. Can Doomsy get the redirect for the second touch? No, that is met in the air by Chazette. Tequilas keeps that moving forward. Chazette with a bit of a miss. Would have been a great setup for Tequilas with only Snasky back in the net. Finally, Doomsy rotates back as they had intercepted that play before, but Red Eye is not finished yet. Off the backboard, that will drop down for Chazette. Misdirection from Dadu coming out, trying to throw off the Reunited defense, but they weren't caught off guard. They ain't no fools. They were able to stop that advance, approaching the halfway mark, but Lamp is going to miss that one. Both Doomsy and Lamp back, and neither one of them to stop it.
Yeah, another critical miss coming out. You see Tequilas just take a shot inside right off the wall rather than bringing it downfield and puts it on net, but there wasn't anything special about it. There was 2 defenders back. Someone needs to make that touch. Something's going on with this Reunited team.
Lamp done goofed. That's as far as it goes on that shot there. Did not think that shot was going in. I'm sure Red Eye did not either. But they are up into the lead now with 2.5 minutes left. See if they can extend it, or if the Reunited boys can start to tighten up their game a little bit and actually get some touches on the ball. They do have a chance here, but Lamp and Snasky are going to rotate back for a boost. Doomsy in just to keep the pressure on. That's in front of the net, but Snasky not expecting the touch, will back off. Chazette is able to push that one back down towards the blue end into Reunited's territory. They're going to quickly transfer the momentum back down to midfield. The ping pong back and forth. And they can't seem to get any plays formulated at all right now as Red Eye moves on the attack. Doomsy and Snasky trying to hold off against Lamp, stuck in the middle there. His engine has malfunctioned. He is out of the play for the time being, but the play will go on. Reunited trying to fight with a 2v3 now. This will be a tricky situation for them. But as long as they play with that mentality, they should be able to hold it off. Almost a chance there for Red Eye as they keep this attack on. Snasky, the last one back, has to be careful right now. A flick up from Dadu. They don't formulate that one properly, but Chazette will be able to capitalize, and they put a third one in.
2v3 mentioned, very difficult. There's not much you can do in situations like that, but when there's approaching ball and having nobody going up for it to make a save, there's only so much that you can do to stop it. But when you don't do anything at all, nobody's going up, nobody's making a save, it makes it very difficult.
Absolutely. 3-1 lead now, 1:30 left in this match. And hopefully we'll have Lamp back to help out his boys. There he is. 2 goals is still possible in this situation. But they just have to keep their heads in the game, knowing that they can do this. Otherwise, they will be at match point coming to the next one. Good stuff from Snasky, but Tequilas is there to follow that one up. 4-1 lead now.
Yeah, the pressure just coming in too strong. You see Tequilas put a shot off that corner, bounces perfectly back mid. The shot immediately after saved, as it's right in the middle of the net. It's kind of difficult not to save it, but the follow-up afterwards, these guys just covering every angle, making sure that there is no chance that it's not going to go in.
1 minute remaining now. They are not going to give up, though. They will keep an attack quick off the kickoff here, trying to get a goal to tighten this gap between their scores. 4-1 lead for Red Eye. Game 2 looking pretty convincingly once again in Red Eye's favor, but we do know Reunited can pull back and clutch it out when they need to. And they're definitely going to have to focus on that coming into the next game, because it is at that point do or die. That is match point. And if they lose that one, it will be a 3-0 for Red Eye, and Reunited will be going home.
I think they're starting to focus on that already. You see this ball coming out, they're like, yeah, there's something going on with this game for us that's just not working out. Yeah, we'll put our position in the way, even in that 50-50. Like, he's at an angle that is going to be lost every single time. Bounces back mid, they get a shot off of it. So coming down to it, I mean, this is where that mental game really comes into play. What do I need to do to make sure that we realize, you know, we've beaten these guys before, we have a chance. Let's just settle down and play our game.
Well, and the other thing, too, is in these last 30 seconds, you want that to go by quickly to get to the next game. You know your opponents aren't going to stop, so you still got to play. You got to make sure they're going to get as least goals as possible to try to make sure that you just get to that next game. That's exactly what you said. It's exactly what they have to be thinking. Reunited are at a point that is dire. If they want to go to this land, they have to win this next one. Well, the next 3 in a row at this point, and that's where their focus needs to be.
Yeah, Reunited now going to be looking for a reverse sweep. Obviously, easier said than done.
Way
we know
easier
it's
said
within
than
them.
done.
You know, we know it's within their capability. They've done it before. They're a very strong team when they play kind of under pressure, and maybe that's what they're doing. It's all part of their master plan.
Well, there we go. I mean, maybe they're just going for the most hype thing possible. I wouldn't put it past those boys.
Please don't do that to me.
My heart can't take it. Please, sir. But there it is. Game number 2 going 5-1 to Red Eye. I mean, Reunited had a bit of a flat tire for one of them. Had to go to the pit stop at that point. A little bit of wrench thrown into the play there. But hopefully coming to the next one, they're going to be all juiced up and ready to go and take a reverse sweep here. They still have the chance here, but losing one game, it is going to be over for Reunited. I am sure there is a lot of energy going out to Reunited, and they need it at this point, guys. So please keep giving it to them. But Red Eye looking to take the sweep at this point.
Yeah, Red Eye just looking consistent all the way across the board. Every single player just basically falling into suit. Need to make a pass, need to make a save, need to make a shot. One of us will get it, doesn't matter who. And that's hard to come by in a team. You have teammates that you can trust. I mean, when I go up for a shot, having that confidence behind me to know that someone else is going to follow up, I can just focus on what I need to do. It's just an ease off your mind.
You bring a really good point. Every single time I saw a loose ball in front of the Reunited net, there was someone to follow it up. Right. You look at 5 goals on there, 4 assists. There is always someone to follow it up, and that's something that Reunited is going to have to look at to take them out of the play. You got to make sure that these guys don't have time to follow these shots up. Don't give them a situation where there's a loose ball in front of your net. If you have that opportunity as Red Eye, you're going to take it. Reunited really needs to intercept that and start formulating some of their own plans down on the other side of the pitch. I haven't seen too many plays really from Reunited.
Yeah, the ones that they have made, those quick couple passes, the ones where they're using that wall and then back middle to Snasky, is exactly what they need to do. Move quick, catch these guys out of position, force them out of position to make a play. Once again, obviously easier said than done, but these guys are the pros. They do it better than anybody else.
Game number 3. This is match point now. Red Eye looking to take a 3-0 against Reunited, but Reunited looking to hopefully pull a reverse sweep and still have a chance at that land. That is their dream, their legacy. We'll see if they can do it. In game number 3, 30 seconds in, as this could be the time that Reunited turns it around and gets a quick goal, almost Snasky to Doomsy, as they try to get a plan formulated. A flick over to Doomsy from Lamp. It will go into the hands of Tequilas instead. Once again to this ping pong, we talk about that a lot. One of these teams is going to have to take the risks to stop this ping pong, take control, and make a risky play, and this could be it. Very, very good passing play from United to take the first one.
Those are the pass plays we were talking about. The quick misdirection makes it very difficult for Tequilas. Goes one way to try to stop it as that first pass comes off, but then the placement by ELMP back across his body, far net. makes it very difficult to transition your momentum from one side to the other. Really well done by Reunited. They're back at it.
That looks like magic. Off the backboard. There's a shot. Snasky with a rocket to the far side. Punches that one a little bit too hard. And that will go away from the net now into the hands of Red Eye as they try to answer that first goal. A great passing play from Reunited with one of their own, but they haven't been able to break out with any full control onto their opponent's side here, as Reunited has been taking away those chances to break past the midfield. Did a very good job, and holding the lead is all they have to do, but I'm sure they're not going to be satisfied with that, as they want to start racking up the points on this one. Snasky boosted up. We'll try to take this one across the net. Doomsy with a good chance there to keep that to the side. Very smart play and communication from Reunited to make sure there are no chances for Red Eye to take a shot. Doomsy with a path. Snasky a little bit too far behind that one. Ball back into the hands of Red Eye as they still are struggling to get a play started. A shot potential there, but stopped out by a defender.
Yeah, good save by Doomsy there, getting his nose on it last second as this team was progressing. But you talk about wanting to, gain that lead, kind of put a different score margin in. But that's been the problem for Reunited, is every time they go up, they have a difficult time of carrying that momentum through and then making it so it's out of reach. So far, they're doing a good job of handling the pressure coming back and then applying some of their own this game.
A little bit slow to the ball there was Lamp, and he will be out of the play. Snasky, Doomsy will have to take control. Good ball control between the two of them there. Doomsy with a pass to Lamp, very smart. Good at team awareness, knowing where his teammate was. And a back pass here, Snasky. Doomsy playing very well right now. It's up to Lamp and Snasky to hold their own if they want to hold this lead. 2.5 minutes left now in game number 3. Reunited needs 2 goals to pull themselves into the lead and walk away with a 3-0 sweep going into the lowers finals. So far, Doomsy is going to extend the lead, though. He saw that one wide open with a good pass out in front of the net.
Reunited looking really good this match, just spreading out the field in their plays. Even the map awareness coming out, like that back pass you saw initially that played back in, allowed all these guys to collect boosts, spread out on the field, and cover every aspect. Benefit of that is you can then pressure in any which way, and it keeps this team of Red Eye that's so strong on offense back in their net. On that back heel is where you need them, and Reunited's doing a good job of that.
Dudu getting taken out in the air by Snasky. Very smart play, because it did look like he might have had a shot on net, and stopping that shot before it even happens is the Gibbs mantra right there. And they do a good job of making sure it didn't go on target. And still sits at a 2-0 lead for Reunited now. And they're looking to pull this one back in this series, get a point on the scoreboard, making it 2-1. ELMP takes that ball forward, stopped out by an opponent at midfield. Will go into the hands of Chazette. Chazette takes that one down the field with Tequila's close behind. There's Dudu, keeping that pressure on. Chazette will have to move back for boost. Might have a chip potential here. Tequilas takes it instead. Dudu to the far side, noticing all 3 Reunited at the midfield. Tries to get that one around, but they do manage to get a touch with their cars on it. Lamp can't get it past Tequilas, so Doomsy will follow up suit. Is he up there for a pass? No, he will rotate back as contests at the midfield from Red Eye keep that ball from moving down towards their own end. And they're looking to start moving on attack now. As we approach that final minute of gameplay, Red Eye looking for some points desperately now.
Yeah, really starting to pack the box on this Reunited squad. They understand the pressure coming out, but those are the contests. That one right there that we saw on the side. Before they were just able to drip downfield. No, not this time. We're going to get in your face. We're going to pressure you and try to make these 50s happen just so you don't get these free shots.
Dudu. Does he do it?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, buddy, if there's ever a time to say it, this is it. The dirty dangles.
To do it to him. Look at that. To do it to him one after another. One fake, and then he baits out that last hit right around. Back within 38 seconds left.
Yo, he's feeling lit about that one, and I'm sure he's going to try to carry the momentum in the last 40 seconds on this one. What a shot from Dudu. We'll see if Reunited can hold off against that one. I'm sure they're even applauding that one. That was a great shot, dropped in front of the net. They tried to put one in. Doomsy manages to squeak that one away from the box. Snasky to the far side. Lamp playing a little bit passively here, allowing his teammates to rotate well in defense. 16 seconds left now for Red Eye. Off the backboard, Chazette preemptively up, tries to get it. Dudu tries to get the low shot there. Hard spot for defenders. They're in a rough spot now. Lamp needs a hard clear. He gets it to the far side. Doomsy with a shot off the backboard. He misses that one. 1 second left. If they can keep it up, they'll be fine. But if it drops, that will be a game going to Reunited, keeping themselves alive The dude doing everything they can to keep that in the air. There's Lamp to drop that one hard. And Reunited keeps themselves alive. The dream to the land is still there. Now 2-1 for Red Eye against Reunited.
Reunited has been in this position before. When they played Mockit earlier, they lost the first two. And then all of a sudden, guess what happens? They come back. They look unbelievably strong. They almost didn't clutch it there. They were able to hold it off. But now they find themselves in that similar position. Can they get through this again?
Well, they lost the last time, so that's not a good sign. But
I mean,
we'll see if they can do it here. I mean, if Dedu starts doing stuff like that again, I mean, they're fine. Red Eye is taking this one. But they got stopped out a lot. I mean, Reunited was doing a really good job of making sure there's no plays. There was hardly any plays. I mean, look at the shots. 6 shots, I mean, it's not as much as we saw in a previous series from them. They are slowly being denied at that midfield and not even allowing that ball to get into the box. They started a little more pressure at the end, but Red Eye is being stopped by Reunited at a lot of chances on offense here.
Yeah, now that's what Reunited has to recognize. They have to understand that when we pressure it, like at the first 2 games, like they're completely dribbling downfield with no one contesting them. They're retreating. There's some lack of communication, like who should go contest it. And it just didn't happen. You see in that game, they're starting to happen. It causes some more clutter. And then you get your players like Doomsy that are so comfortable with going up and contesting and getting in the face. And it works out in their favor. So hopefully they can keep that consistent, give themselves a chance. Otherwise, Red Eye, that pressure on offense can be scary.
Well, we'll find out coming into game number 4. As we said, Reunited keeping their dream alive. Red Eye looking and still at match point to move themselves forward into this bracket. One of these teams is going home. Will it go to a game number 5? Well, I'm sure Reunited is hoping so. As we sit with no early goal on this one. No 3-second goal from Reunited. As we see Red Eye trying to get that first one as they move on to attack, but they overcommit way too hard. And there is an easy shot for Snasky.
Yeah, easy shot indeed. You see that overcommitting happen. The LMP just wins that out, and then nobody back. Everybody trying to go for attack. And Snasky playing that super smart. There's so many times we see people with a wide open net, and they go for something stupid. No. Soft and easy. Just tap it in. Just tap it in.
Tap it in. Just tap it in. There's a goal for Reunited in the first 30 seconds. They did this last time, and they did manage to keep the lead for the entire series in game number 3. We'll see if they can keep that trend up with game number 4 and just hold this one off. Maybe get another one to extend the lead for some comfortable play style here. But Red Eye doing a lot of weird plays right now. Overcommitting one player to be a nuisance. Tequila's was up there ready for a pass and some bumps. But they're backing off fairly quickly here as the second Reunited gets a hold of that ball. Good touch from Lamp. Snasky is there for a shot, but a little bit too high. Doomsy will not be able to be there as a third to follow it up. He'll have to come in and try again. Almost a good setup and a good play there. That ball's in front of the net still. Someone can reach up for that one. There's a shot for Lamp. If he can get a hard one, that's going to be in. They extend their lead 2-0.
That pressure coming in from Reunited. That initial touch just causing Chaussette to go up for it. Jaws him out. They play it back inside. He makes a good 50-50. But the reason why that worked is that shot that came in the second time. That 50-50 where someone followed up and got in his face as he tried to clear it out, shot it right back up, and then the continuous pressure. Really good job coming up from Reunited. Looks like they're finally falling into suit.
Good passing play there. Lamp a little bit too late. Dedu will intercept. He was the last one back that we see. He had to be very careful. A tricky spot. We see a lot of risky pressure coming up from Red Eye right now. I think they realize that might be what they have to do, but they do have to make sure they do not give up any of their defensive prowess for that. Snasky with a good dribble pass there to Lamp. Doomsy waiting patiently, knowing that could have got intercepted, and it did, so good call on his part to wait back. 3 minutes left now, still a 2-0 lead for Reunited. And they're doing a very good job of controlling that ball at midfield and making sure they get the passing plays to each other, and I think that's the key component that will help them stay in the lead for the rest of this match.
Right, on the other side, Red Eye is starting to bunch up a little bit on offense instead of spreading the field, but they go back to it naturally on defense. As soon as that ball gets transitioned to the other side, they all collect their boosts, they spread out, they cover everywhere on the field, just in case, because you know this Reunited team can attack from anywhere.
Red Eye with a dinger there, almost putting one in, and they finally get one as the defender can't reach to that in time.
Yeah, ball played up high. You just see Dedu taking off the bounce, getting a little bit of power to it and clearing it downfield. But the mistake from Snasky, you see him as he's that last one back. He side flips, puts himself out of position. Then you get that last defender trying to make a last-ditch effort. Not going to count. We're back within one, almost halfway through this match.
As you said, as a last defender, it's really hard. You want to trust your teammates, but you don't want to also commit to a save yourself. By the time you realize you have to, it might be too late, and that's exactly where Lamp found himself. And he wasn't able to stop that. 2-1 with 2.5 minutes left. Red Eye leads this series 2-1. If they win this game, they will take away the series. Reunited trying to bring it to a game number 5. Move forward in the series. There's ELMP, though, answering that last one from Red Eye very quickly.
Yeah, you see this play backed up. Chaussette just underneath Dedu. Dedu goes up, makes the first hit, and then the backflip. He just completely jumps out of the way. But ELMP with that placement, he could have went either way. Far, near, goes near, and it works out in his favor.
As you said, Chaussette trying to go for that, but a backflip, as he realizes his trajectory was a little bit off, gives Lamp all the time he needed to put that one in. 2 minutes left. They're looking a lot better than they were in the first 2 games. We'll see if they can maintain that. That is the biggest thing here, is consistency. We all know how Reunited does with that one. 1:53 left, but 3-1 lead is fairly comfortable to do with a pass out to Chaussette. Chaussette off the backboard, a little bit too far for them to do anything with it. That will be moved back down with a great clear coming out from Snasky.
Yeah, Snasky's been phenomenal this entire season with those Spider-Man clears.
Doomsy and Lamp out of the play. Snasky will meet that one at midfield. Snasky with no one to support him. To do in a weird spot here. Lamp couldn't take advantage of that one on time. There's a shot from Doomsy on target. Chaussette gets back in time. Tequilas does as well to carry that one forward. Can't get it as far as they wanted, though. Dedu needs to win this 50-50. Completely neutral, but it sends Doomsy flying, and a shot for Tequilas. Stopped out by Lamp. In front of the net, though, Chaussette can't get there in time. Snasky keeps that one away. They're starting to build some pressure, but with a minute left, they need 2 goals. They will have to have a lot more pressure than they have right now.
Now the issue is, and I understand that they want to apply that pressure, but it's so dangerous when you apply so much and you get those long-term goals, or those ones that we saw right at the beginning where you commit too much. And I think that's what they're afraid of, is they're afraid of making this spread even more. They want to close it out here just to make sure that they don't have to go to a game 5. But Reunited's doing a good job. They're keeping their patience. They're staying calm, and that's the biggest problem. Is a lot of times they force things and it leads to a bunch of mistakes. They're not doing that right now.
Well, they have nothing to lose at this point. I mean, overcommitting does nothing but bring them to a game at number 5. They may as well overcommit and try some crazy stuff. They tried to there, and try to at least get this one tied up again. But coming into the final 15 seconds of gameplay, they cannot formulate anything. Reunited is all over them and trying to get another one of their own with 10 seconds left. This one's over, and we're going to a game 5.
Yeah, you're starting to see Reunited gain that confidence, and that's always a scary situation to be in. We talk about how these teams are so good. There's just an inconsistency with it, but when they get comfortable, when they go on, like they can beat everybody. Like, they have a chance to be one of those top teams. It's just, for some reason, there's certain times where, like, yeah, we don't feel like it today. But I guess today's not, or is that, I don't know, because they showed up not
They've gone
good.
so back and forth today, and for Reunited, they better hope that that back and forth isn't about to go back again at this time, and it is 4th all the way. Game at number 5 for Reunited and Red Eye. Reunited now looking for a reverse sweep.
Right.
And man, I can't believe what they're doing right now. Why do they put people through this all the time?
The heartstrings, man, every single time. And they're doing it in textbook fashion. Nothing too crazy. These shots aren't unbelievable, but they're well done. Like, you see the pass plays, just textbook misdirection. Let me bring it upfield with a teammate, pass it across, and then pass it back inside, and that side is going to be the net. And it's working out really well for them.
Well, one thing they're doing, and you're right, that misdirection, but a lot of people tend to do it off the backboards or while they're deep into their opponent's end. These guys are doing it at midfield. Reunited started getting the passing plays at midfield. Snasky, Doomsy, getting that ball to each other, and it's starting to throw off the defense, who's expecting, and they're not committing for any of these contests because they're expecting to happen a little more deeper in their own end. And I think that really threw Red Eye off. And that's what Red Eye really has to realize now. They're going to do that at midfield, take the ball away with a contest, and try to get a quick counterattack, because you're not formulating any kind of attack otherwise.
It's crazy to see how the tables have flipped. You saw originally how Reunited wasn't the one contesting, and now it's the complete opposite because of the play style that these guys have changed to. Just quick passes in the midfield instead of, like you said, off the backboard. It makes it different. It does keep this team on their toes, and I think that really suits this Reunited team. They like being able to just play that kind of short tap, less kind of thought process into it, just kind of react and, make plays. but at the same time, then it does the same thing for Red Eye. Red Eye has to play that reactionary, and it's difficult to match up against.
All right, well, we will find in game number 5, Reunited versus Red Eye. Who's going to take it? This is coming down to the wire. One of these teams is going home, and Dedu is trying to make Reunited the ones to pack their bags.
Yeah, you see this clear. Doomsy just doesn't get it far across. He's trying to play this over the top of the net with a hit, and that probably would have went corner, but that small, it wasn't perfect. And that's what's ridiculous about these guys is we have expectations of them. Did everything the best of their ability, but even these guys do make mistakes, and that one causing them a goal.
Almost quickly answering that one off the kickoff there. Does get stopped out by a defender on Red Eye's end. As they try to make a push forward. Dedu with a 50-50. Lost out to Doomsy there as they move back down towards Red Eye's side. Good touch out from Doomsy in front of the net, but Tequila's patiently waiting for that one. Keeps it to the side, just making sure it doesn't go to the box. They are not ready, though, on defense. They're in an awkward spot, but thankfully for them, Reunited could not pull that one back and get anything formulated. They'll have to try again from their own end. A good, nice long clear as that heads back down towards Red Eye's side. But the defense, a wall, keeping that one out, sends it right back down to Reunited's territory.
Yeah, it just seems to be when Red Eye's in the lead, they know how to carry that through. They look so dangerous. Even though they're committing a couple extra on defense, they're clearing it out and not getting punished for it.
A pop-up from ELMP to Snasky, the finish from Doomsy. Not quite there as Tequila's does manage to get his car in the way as they regain control and try to create a counterattack, but already back on defense is Reunited. Quick back rotation will put them in a good spot to move that forward, but a missed jump from Doomsy will stop that play and cause a bit of delay on that one. Snasky stopped by Shazette Dedu. Back down towards the other end. Still no real plays formulated. Still a 1-goal lead for Red Eye with 3 minutes left in this match. That goal goes unanswered by Reunited, and that one goal separates Reunited from being tied or going home at this point.
Still plenty of time for both sides. A lot can happen in 3 minutes, as we know, but it just comes to give you a benefit. The play styles start to change when you're at this kind of different circumstance of, okay, we're up by 1, how do we handle this? And I don't think Red Eye is going to let that get to them. They're just going to keep pressuring nonstop to make sure that this team of Reunited doesn't get to do those passes in the middle of the field like they want to.
Good job there from Snasky with car control. Doomsy realizing he wasn't going to be able to help out, so he goes for the boost grabs instead on Red Eye and tries to create that starvation on offense. We'll see if it'll work out here. 2.5 minutes left. They need to still answer that other goal. Dedu with a shot
what a
on.
shot.
Good bounce shot off the ground, making sure to get as much power as possible.
Understanding that power shot in full effect. First one to it, ELMP needs to go and contest that 50-50 as well. We talk about being that last defender and knowing when to go or not. That was a circumstance because as soon as Dedu gets that one-on-one situation, he has all the ability in the world to place that wherever he wants. It's just with the way that he used the power as that ball bounces quickly up off the field, he places it perfectly and so fast you can't react to it.
Shazette trying to go for an air dribble to extend the lead. 2 goals now for Reunited to pull this one back. This is more difficult than they would have hoped for at this point. They did manage to bring it to a game 5, but can they finish off that reverse sweep? It's not looking like it as Red Eye has taken control of this last match and has managed to find ways to break past the defense of Reunited. Snasky Doomsy, though, going to try to turn this one around and answer at least one of those goals. Right now, Doomsy with a shot on, but too weak, and the Tequilas will be able to get in the way of that one. There's Snasky, trying to come from a sneaky angle. Is met by a Red Eye player first. Dedu gets it past Snasky. Lamp waiting back for that one.
Smart decision making as well by Dedu. There's so much aerial game going on. What does he do? He settles the ball down, dribbles it down.
They're going to be able to get that pass play through, though. Shazette extending the lead now 3-0. Reunited in a very difficult spot.
Really good possession control by Red Eye. You see him settle it down, like I mentioned, dribble it downfield. They put a pass inside. Eventually, everybody gets cluttered and bunched up in the box, and then eventually comes off that backboard, a shot in, and they're up by 3.
This is difficult, very difficult now for Reunited. 3 goals down with 1:30 left. They have to start beginning in their own heads. They just pulled back 2 wins. Can they put one in? 2 goals difference now. This is the start to the comeback. Can they do it, Lawler?
This is the chaos that benefits Reunited. Shot coming in from ELMP, bounces up, hits that crossbar, and as Tequilas is just trying to rotate back to get into his save,
Chaos indeed.
bounces off his hood and goes in.
This is getting down to the wire. 1:20 left now. 2 goals Reunited about to have their dreams dashed once again. Unless they can get 2 more goals, 3 in total to get the win here. Snasky off the backboard, almost putting that in. Chazette managed to keep that one away. ELMP with a follow-up. Tequila's hard on defense, keeps that one out. The Red Eye defense just managing to be a wall yet again, stopping the Reunited advance. 1 minute remaining now, and Reunited finds himself in a very bad spot. Red Eye in a good one. It's Doomsy out to ELMP. Can he get the chip a little bit too far to the other side? They are putting everything they have into this now. You can see how they've just transitioned all of their energy forward now. They are making sure not to get in their own heads. With 40 seconds left, that is critical. With 2 goals, 20 seconds each. One has to happen now if they want to be able to formulate another plan in the last 30 seconds. Still have not been able to manage to put one in yet. Red Eye holding off so well.
Yeah, this defense from Red Eye, no joke. But this is what I wanted to see Reunited from the start. The pressure that they're putting on, as long as they can get back on defense and give themselves a chance. 15 seconds left.
10 seconds left now, 3-1. We'll see if they can get 2 goals. This looks like it's going to be over as Red Eye held off so well in that final minute of gameplay. ELMP Snasky, one last ditch attempt. They can't do it. Doomsy knows it. It is over for Reunited. They are done and out of the RLCS Season 2, and Red Eye moving on into the finals. They have 1 more series ahead to find out if they can get their ticket to the LAN.
There was such a chance for this Reunited team. Red Eye holding off that reverse sweep just barely as they battle out in the end. As you mentioned, Reunited, as soon as they recognized they were down by 2, back-to-back shots. These guys did everything in their power to make sure it didn't go past midfield. They just couldn't get one in.
They couldn't. I mean, they tried so hard, and you saw all of their energy be put into those final seconds of gameplay there. They did what they could, but that wall of defense coming out from Red Eye, absolutely incredible from them. They managed to hold themselves off very close, put themselves in a weird spot going to Game 5, but they managed to hold it off. Congrats to them. They will be moving on into the next part of the bracket, but it's not yet over for them as they still have another series ahead of them. We're going to find out more about that, though, from the desk.
Thank you, Leaf and Lawler. Tough moment there for fans of Reunited, as no one can say they didn't fight, but ultimately Red Eye able to close them out in that very close Game 5. Let's take another look at that series.
We all started out with the Dew. We were talking about it the entire series. He was the man of the match by far in the series. Absolutely amazing. The first game, 2 goals and 2 assists, with Tequila is also on the offensive end, while Chaussette just playing the defensive role with the 4 saves.
Yeah, he had 86% goal participation here. Out of the 14 goals that we saw Red Eye score, he was a part of 12 of those, putting in 7 of them by himself. Saw some amazing plays from him. That one dribble play in the game, they ended up actually losing, but he was able to get past all 3 players. Was an incredible play, but in the end, it worked out for them very well as Reunited was not quite able to put it together.
Yeah, they just fell flat games 1 and 2. Like Game 2, they actually scored within 3 seconds of the play, but then lost 5-1. We had that unfortunate disconnect from Lamp, but that only resulted in 1 goal, and the final score was 5-1.
Right.
Of course, like it might have jostled Reunited a bit, but they did bounce back. They got the win in Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, they bounced back too, and then it's like, maybe they can actually do this. But Dadu again scoring early in Game 5, and that just like started the trend.
Yeah.
And there was no looking back for Red Eye after that.
Yeah, no, it was so rough. We talked about it before the match that we were seeing Reunited not connecting on passes, and there was definitely moments there in game number 5 around 3:40. Doomsy had an excellent pass from ELMP and just couldn't get his car on it in a way to put it in. And that's sort of inconsistency on offense is exactly what has us with this scoreline here and why they're the ones going home. They do have $1,000 remuneration for their efforts. You don't even know what that word means, do you?
No, I have no idea. He is way.
Did you spend like the whole game researching words?
No, I actually knew that
good.
word already. Thank you very much. From 6th grade, I don't know.
I
Red
couldn't
Eye.
spell
How
that
about Red
in
Eye?
6th grade. Couldn't do it.
I gotta say though, in watching that, it's an elimination match. Everything is on the line, and going down 0-2 can be really tough. But I gotta give huge props to Reunited for staying in there. They had, I think, a disconnect problem there in the game, but able to bring it back, hold it together, and push it to a Game 5. Made it really exciting for us, but unfortunately for them, Red Eye able to hold on. And kudos to Red Eye too, because you can understand that situation where you're up 2-0 and you're like on the verge of winning, and then all of a sudden the team you're playing against is coming back. In that final game, something that I think was very strong and characteristic of their style was just their defense. It seemed like they were on a mission. They knew it was on the line. Well, their lives are on the line in RLCS, and they're able to hold on and stay alive there.
Yeah, but Reunited back-to-back seasons of just disappointing results. Everyone thought they were a top 4 team last season, and then everyone thought they were a top 4 team this season, but they never showed it at all during the entire RLCS run. And now they're out again, and it was the same roster for both. Maybe now it's time they start making roster moves because they really wanted to try one more time because they looked good in Qualifier 2 last time. So like, we could probably make a run at it, but at this point, you fail twice. I don't know if you can continue with the same roster at this point.
Yeah, it's so rough for them because the quest for land continues. They still have not been able to break through. And it's got to feel good for the Red Eye boys that they've been right there. Tequilas and Dedu have been playing together for so long, and they were on fire this match. The way that they were playing, and then Chaussette backing him up on the defense, he maintained that average we talked about before of 2 saves per game. The way that they played, they're looking great right now, and they're very warmed up as they continue on to the bracket.
Yeah, can they keep that momentum and advance to Amsterdam? Of course, we have 3 teams, I should say, left in RLCS, the European playoffs. Coming up next, it's the winner's match. We're going to find out the first team who's going to Amsterdam. It's either going to be Market Aces or Precision Z. You're watching the Rocket League Championship Series, the playoffs. Who's going to Amsterdam? We're going to find out in the next match.